What's going on? How you doing tonight? Just popping in. Thought I'd see who's out here, see who's out and about, see if I had any questions tonight. Just kind of doing a normally not something I normally do is just to do a pop in and see what happens, but we'll see if anyone else shows up. Feel free to ask questions if you got them. Stream is not bad. Um, I got almost 1,000 followers, at least through Facebook, a couple hundred through YouTube, handful through Kick, Insta, and stuff like that. But Uh, been going on for about 3 years now. What's up, Stuart? How you doing? Yep, I just popped in just to see what's going on. So, Stuart, how you doing, brother? You doing good? I just popped in to do an impromptu, sitting here on my out here in North Carolina on a TDY trip for work. So, just thought I'd pop out, say hi to everyone, see who comes in, say hi to everybody. Appreciate it, brother. Got it. I'm doing okay. We'll see how it goes. Uh, Seems to be going okay, but I'm kind of thinking about changing some themes up. We'll see what happens. But I know that coming up over the summer, since I travel so much for work, my shows get limited on how many I get to go on, actually bring on. So that's going to happen. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Yep, I know it's weird seeing me pop up on here on a Sunday of all things, but I just figured I'd do a pop in and see if anyone had any questions while I was on here. I'll stay on here for a little while. Um, lots of lots of weird stuff in my head right now, so it's okay. I don't know what's going on, but seems like I'm picking up a lot of energy from everybody, a lot of different energy from everybody right now. Um, so I just thought I'd pick it up and see if anyone had any questions. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. You know, what's funny is that I have wished Happy Father's Day to a lot of people out there, but my own son has not wished me a Happy Father's Day, but I don't normally expect that from him. Um, he gets sidetracked working a lot and stuff like that. So we have a lot of good time together, though. So that's nice. He comes out to the lake a lot. He does a lot of traveling with us, or at least a lot of the family stuff with us when he gets the chance. So yeah, I'm feeling it, Wendy. I'm not sure what it is, but I got something going on that um, not sure what it is. It almost seems like it's going to be a shift of negative before it turns to positive. Um, I've really been since I've been here this weekend, I've really been focusing on a lot of positive things that have been going on as far as like online, reading up a lot, doing a lot of different things, trying to create a positive energy in space right now. But um, I get the feeling something's coming that's not going to be so pleasant before it gets better. Not 100% sure what it is yet, but I'm sure I'll figure it out as we go along. I normally do. Um, I started picking up something a little different. I've started been picking up on. Normally, I'm pretty good about picking up on those who have passed and everything else, but recently I've noticed that I'm picking up a lot on people who are living, and those who don't like to talk about their feelings or say them out loud. Um, but I seem to be picking up on a lot of things that people don't want to talk about right now. Nothing in general. I mean, very just in general, nothing specific, but it's just kind of something I'm picking up on, and I don't know why. This new ability of mine. Normally, I was able to pick up on people's energies and know that if I appreciate the energy or if it's a negative energy or whatever it is, and that's normally how I pick people coming on my shows is how I go about doing stuff like that. But this has been a different thing where I'm picking up on people's actual emotions and not just the good or bad energies. So I'm trying to figure out what's different, what's changing, not only just in general, but with me, because this is something, like I said, this is something different. I know that I am continuing to grow as far as what my abilities are, but this one's a little different. This one's not working um, elemental wise or spiritual wise or anything else. It's living, so it's a little different for me. So yeah, it is. Like I said, I'm very good at reading people's very minor ticks, their micro expressions, as they're called for a lot of times. I'm good about picking up a lot of my social engineering skills are very good at picking up on what people are doing or thinking or feeling, but the way I'm doing it now is not something that I have been, it's not what I was trained through the military for. It's more of a connection. So it's a little different. And I'm just hoping it's a new growth that I'm going through. Um, but currently I am sensing a lot of, hi, Uilani Ku'ule, how are you? I've been sensing a lot of sadness, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety going on across a lot of the people I come in touch with, and the problem is they're not dealing with it, or they're not expressing it, or they don't know how to talk about it, so they are just hiding it or avoiding it. Um, they're just not letting it out. They're unwilling or unable to face what it is they're going through. Um, and it's very interesting because all of a sudden I am taking on those feelings of what they are feeling. And like I said before, I've always been able to kind of pick up on people's energy and stuff like this, but this seems to be a lot more specific. And it's very odd for me because this isn't something I've been able to do before outside of just good energy, bad energy for somebody. But the specifics of it, of the depression or of the sadness, and it seems like it's gaining in momentum, and I don't like that. Hi, Sandy, how are you? I know it's weird to see me just pop in here on a Sunday, but just sitting out in a hotel right now, out in North Carolina, working. Well, not working today, but getting ready for work tomorrow. So I thought I'd jump on really quick, kind of share some of the thoughts that's going on with me today and pretty much this whole weekend. So the best way I can describe it, because Wendy's asking, does it feel like a nail up the spine of sorts? No, for me, it's very odd how I tie a lot into the Green Mile. For me, it really does feel like pieces of glass in my skull. Um, it just feels painful, but it's not mine. I know it's not mine. I know what mine is. I know what it is when I go through my shadow work. I know what it is when I'm facing um, loss or anything along that side of the house. But this isn't my emotions. I mean, I share mine. If people saw it today, if they saw my Facebook, I shared a very quick blurb about missing my dad. He's been gone for 50 years. It's Father's Day. I don't care how long you've been away from your dad. It still hurts. And so I just posted a little thing. My dad passed away when I was 3. So it's been 50 years, but he's still the greatest man I've ever known. So those are the emotions that I know that um, are buried deep, deep, deep down in me that I don't normally share. But I just felt like posting a Facebook today on it, letting people see and understand a little bit about me, and then also to get to see what kind of a man my dad was. By looking at the picture, you can tell. But it's very interesting for me because it doesn't seem like it's one or two people that I'm feeling right now. It feels like I'm feeling a group, a nation. I mean, we can tie a lot of it to what's going on in the news, good or bad, whatever you want to say it is. But that's not what I'm feeling. It's deeper than that. It's almost like, I don't know. There's a shift, and I knew we were going through a shift already before, and it was a very positive, strong shift that I was feeling before. But now it almost seems like it's leveling off. It's losing its momentum. It's in its stage of almost settling. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's the whole crowd. It really does feel like that to me. It feels like everyone's just kind of bracing for what's next. Um, but for me, it's not. It's not physical. It doesn't seem to be tied to political or whatever. To me, it just seems like it's a spiritual level that everyone's kind of settling in for. There's so much. I mean, and I keep up fairly well on Facebook. Um, I must have said his name one too many times, and he must have heard me. My son just sent me a message saying Happy Father's Day. So um, I mentioned that he was probably at work and he just doesn't remember things like that, but apparently he does. So I said his name. He must have felt the tug, and he felt the need to send me the message, and I appreciate it. So I will send him back a message when I'm done on here. But it's, you know, I do follow not too much social media. I mostly only stay on Facebook too much, but I do my show on all the other links and all the other locations. But Facebook is where a lot of my followers reside and a lot of my friends reside and everything else. But um, it's if it weren't for the show, I don't know if I would ever look at social media. Um, it's especially lately, like the past week or two, it seems like so much, at least of the people that I know, um, are at each other. There's just a level of hate that is resonating right now, especially in our like our field, our what we do. That it's unfathomable that we're supposed to love each other. Um, it almost seems like it's going from love one another to only worry about yourself, and I don't like that. Um, it's hard for me to wrap my head around what's going on. It's again, like I said, it's not. I can't pinpoint it, but I see it happening like a wave, and the wave just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling, and it hasn't crested yet. Um, but I can feel the buildup of it. So I'm not quite sure what to do with this. So I'm just kind of waiting. Um, I'm just kind of stepping back. Not the show. The show's going to continue, even though there will be less shows because I have a lot more traveling to do. Um, but myself, I am just kind of, I'm that one type of person that you see me out there on my show, but away from my show, I'm the one that stands back in the corner and just watches everything as it happens. I am much under the belief that it's, you know, let everyone assume, be quiet, let everyone assume I'm a fool, then open my mouth and prove it. So, um, so I'm just kind of sitting back. I'm still going to do my part. Hi, Zhang. How are you, sister? But I'm still going to do my part. Um, I had no idea what I was coming on for. I just felt the need to open up the live stream, let people wander in, say hi, talk, ask questions if they have any, um, and then just kind of talk myself. So if any of you out there have questions, please feel free. I am pretty open right now. It's been a very odd open weekend. Um, so it's just curious to see what's going on this weekend with a lot of people. I have been I have been watching a lot of videos that are uplifting. They're joyous. They're surprises to people. There's something of that sort. Um, and it's just very interesting that what's going on right now is that I need to do that what I'm feeling at the angst. It's probably a better word for it. The angst, the anxiety, everything I'm feeling right now is, in order for me to balance it, I have to look into myself. I have to stop looking outward at others because although I know that they are no reflection of me, and they are nothing to do with me, um, I have to find the positive right now that's growing, that I still have and that I will always have. But um, I also need to find a way to help balance out the negative that's growing. I'm one person. I know there are many of us out there that have that same feeling. Um, I have a complete faith and belief, and I don't mean it to, excuse me, I don't mean it to sound like I'm cocky or anything else, but I can take on a lot, and I can help a lot of different people see the good in themselves. And I believe that um, that's going to be another mission of mine. I'm okay with that. I am willing to take on anything. I always tell people I have shoulders big enough to take on the world, and I'm still be fine. So, and I fully believe that. Been through a lot. People know this. For those who don't, I've been through a lot. Continue to go through a lot, and every step of the way, I don't mind. Um, Sorry, I have to kick someone out because they're telling me that if I don't respond to them um, and add them and like them, they're going to keep responding to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and kick them out of my Restream chat so we don't have to deal with them anymore. Um, and I know there's a lot of us that are willing to kind of do the same thing, but I need to let people know that you need to be careful when you're doing that. Um, don't take on too much. Okay. I completely understand those of you who believe, like I do, that the weight of the world is just one world, and that's all it is to me. It's just one world. There's many out there that other people can deal with and handle on their own. Um, but I always make sure to take care of me first. Um, I always make sure I take care of myself first, and then I'm good at helping everyone else. That's why I know that I'm strong enough to do this, because I have that ability. I absolutely do not doubt anything that I'm capable of. I'm looking forward to some of the stuff that we have coming up. This Nikki and I have coming up over the summer. I think it'll be good for her, especially. I mean, it's going to be good for me, but good for her as well. But there's also a part of me that isn't looking forward to one of them because I'm just not. I just don't want it to be set up for disappointment. We're going on a. Hi, Christy. How are you? So we're going on one of our first. We're going to Paranormal Rockdown, which is going to be at Broadhead Manor out in Wisconsin. I've done the local Mystic Fest around here. We've both done the local Mystic Fest, but this will be our first like big Paracon thing with everybody. And I just don't want it to turn into something. I'm not building it up too much in my head because I am fearful of the letdown, simply because of how much I'm seeing happen going on in just in the community as a whole. A lot of it lately. I also follow someone, and It breaks my heart, but I follow someone. Her name is Jordan Moon. Um, I don't follow her religiously, but I look at her post when she pops up and everything else. And to see this wonderfully strong woman has a fantastic online personality, um, just be decimated by one thing that happened, which is completely understandable. But it lets you know that the person that you see online here is not always the same person that they are in real life. Ajang, absolutely. Ajang is asking me, Tom, can the current bad situations everywhere affect the emotions of sensitive people, especially empaths? Absolutely. Empaths are going to feel it the worst. The whole problem is some empaths don't know they're empaths, and they get very weighed down by the weight of the world that's around them, and they don't understand what it is. They're exhausted fast. They're quicker to anger. Their emotions are all over the place, and it's not theirs, but they're taking on other people's emotions, and they don't know how to deal with them because they don't understand what it is. But those who are empaths and they knew they're empath and they do know that they're empaths, one of the biggest problems is they don't know how to shield themselves, how to protect themselves from allowing all that emotion overwhelm them. I know there's a lot of emotion out there. I'm feeling it, but it's not overwhelming me. I just know it's out there because I can feel it rumbling through everything. But for an empath who is an empath that knows they're an empath but doesn't know how to block themselves, it could be horrible. Is the best word I can use. I'll even give an example. There was a lady I worked with. She's since moved on to another location at my job, but she used to work with me at work. And she would go and sit with those who were passing, had no one else to sit with them when they're going to pass on in the middle of the night or sometime during that time frame. And she started coming to me and this is right after I realized I had abilities. I did not tell anybody at all yet I had abilities. And she was the first person I told at work. What drew me to her, I don't know. But something must have known that she was the first person I was supposed to talk to at work and explain what was going on, what was happening to me. And she sat down with me and she goes, I'm glad you opened up to me because I don't want to sound like I'm crazy when I tell somebody this, but I sit down with people when they are getting ready to pass on. And she said, over the past 2 years, I have been so sick. She said, I've developed lupus. My energy is drained. And she was doing a lot. Figure she was working a full day at our job. She would also had a second job. She has 4 kids. And she was also going to sit with these people who had no one else that was going to sit with them as they passed. Fantastic soul, beautiful person. But she was making herself sick because she didn't realize that she was an empath. And she was taking on all those sicknesses for the people that she was sitting there with, along with all the energy from her children and just stuff at work. She wasn't understanding it. And she goes, I don't know what to do. She goes, I have never told anybody this. It's been going on for 2 years. You opened up to me. I'm opening up to you. And I said, okay, let's talk this out. So I wear jewelry not because I think the stones help me. I wear the stones simply for 2 reasons. One is because I like them, or one is because I wear them because I'm supposed to give them away. And for some reason, I had never wore this bracelet before. Bought it, never wore it, but I'd been wearing a bracelet. And I said, hey, do me a favor, give me like 15 minutes. And she said, okay. So she went back to work, and I have a great gift of being able to charge stones as well when they're needed. So I held on to it. I gave it an attention. I charged it, and I gave it over to her. And I said, okay, so here's what's going on. I want you to wear this bracelet tonight. And she goes, what are you talking about? I go, just do me a favor and wear the bracelet. She said, okay. And she puts it on and she goes, it's really warm. And I said, well, that's because I'm built like a polar bear and I just had it in my hands. But I knew the real reason how come the bracelet was warm on her wrist. And I knew that night she was going to be sitting with the man, an older gentleman who was going to pass on by himself at night. And she had met this man before, and she sat with him a few other times. But that was the night that he was going to pass. So she sat with him, and she came in the next morning. And so you got to figure she's been at work all day, went home and fed her kids, and then 8, 9 o'clock at night, she sits with this man until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then comes back to work the next day at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of energy has been expelled for this what was going on. And she came back and she's wearing the bracelet. And she goes, "What did you do to me?" And I'm like, "Hold on. I don't like the way this is going. What do you mean, what did I do to you?" And she said, "I wore this bracelet and I sat with this man and I did everything I normally do to people. I played games with them. I read to them. We laughed. I fluffed their pillow. I brought them their dinner. I did everything. And normally by the time that's done, I'm exhausted. I'm drained. And I'm trying to come into work. And I'm so exhausted and torn." And she goes, "I went through the entire night, through all those same motions that I normally do, but my energy never once waned. And I'm still full of energy right now. What did you do?" And I told her about the bracelet. I told her what I did. And I did not tell her beforehand because I did not want her to have it in her head, mind over matter type of thing. I wanted to get her actual reaction to what happens the next day. And that was her actual reaction. And she went to hand the bracelet back to me. And I said, "Well, this isn't my bracelet. This is yours." And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, this bracelet was on my body to give to you yesterday." I said, "And I didn't know. I never wear a bracelet. I don't wear them unless it's for a reason to give away, most likely." And sure enough, she's like, "Well, here's your bracelet back." I said, "No, this is your bracelet." So I taught her how to charge and cleanse the bracelet. She wears it now. She uses it for her protection, for when she does the work as an empath, so she can block herself from all the negativity of coming in, but she still gets to do the motions. And it's amazing because now her lupus is gone. She doesn't have the tiredness anymore. She just has that. She's back to herself I knew years before, which is fantastic. And it was simply because she was an empath but didn't know it. So she didn't know how to block her energy away from others or how to reclaim her energy from others at the end of the night, which a lot of people don't do either, which is a very telling sign when you're exhausted, when you're angry, when you're just depressed, whenever anything like that. Some of you maybe think you're doing a lot of the things right, but what you're forgetting to do is disconnect at night. You're forgetting to cut the cords at night. Now, when you cut cords with other people, it does not mean you're cutting them out of your life. Cutting the cord simply means that you are releasing their energy back to them, and you are claiming back your energy to yourself. Because when you come across someone tonight, even though we're on here and we're talking, tonight I will have to lay down and I will have to ask for a disconnect from every single one of you, but I will do it with love. I will say, please send back everybody who is watching me on my show and everybody I'm communicating with today back to them with love. And please recall all of my energy back to me with love. Because if you hold on to that other person's energy, you already have that heart connect. You have already formed this connection between you two. And that stays until you disconnect. So if any of you were having a terrible day today, and I kept this connection, well, as I sleep, I'm still holding on to your connection. You're still holding on to mine. So if my day goes from good to bad, we still have this connection. So you're still going to start feeling some of mine. I do my best to try to block that from you guys so you don't have to deal with it. So when you do give it back, you only have to give me back very little, so it doesn't take up a lot of your energy. But that's something a lot of people don't know that is necessary, is that you need to make that separation at night. Like I said, it does not mean we are losing each other. It just simply means I am sending back your energy with love, and I am gaining my own energy back with love. Now, there are times when I purposely push energy to you. Zhang, you know this because you have felt it, and um, so has your son. Um, where I will know that you are tired. I will know that you are having a rough day. I know things are going bad, and I will willingly and gladly give up part of myself to push energy to you. But I can push energy worldwide. But it's a burst of energy. It's not the heart connection that we have in the other form of energy. The energy I give out to others is not the something that I have to make sure I separate myself from every night. It is simply something I need to do to give you what you need. Um, and it can be an uplifting energy. It can just be a physical energy to get you through the rest of your day. It can be a something that you just feel that gives you a boost or a little lift. But the heart energy that we connect with all day, um, you have to make sure you make that separation. Otherwise, you're in each other's energy all the time, every single time you're doing something, and that could be why you lose focus on some things because you're you're picking up someone else's energy and they're having a very rough time at that time, and it's pulling at you. So it can bring your energy down as well. So, little tip from me to you: I can actually tell you the person I learned that from. Um, um, Her name is Kelly Miller. I learned that from her. I've always heard about it before, but when I was able to sit down with her and take a course with her, she's one of my very good friends now. Um, but when I was able, because she's local to me in Omaha, but when I was able to sit with her and just listen to what she says, it was fantastic, and I took a lot of it to heart. Um, and it's something that I've always learned something new. Um, Even when I'm not trying to, I'm learning something new. And Zhang, you are absolutely always more than welcome for me having a concern about you and Azar. That will never go away. Just as it doesn't for anybody else who is either watching this or I don't even know if this is going to record. I just hit live, so I don't even think this is going to record and stay for later. And I really don't care because the people who need the message or just need to hear the talks or just need to ask the questions will know how to find me, will know how to watch this, will know how to hear about this. Um, if they're in need, it'll find a way to get to them. And I fully believe that. But I felt like I needed to come on, answer any questions that people had. I did not think I'd be going for a little over half an hour, and I can continue to go if need be. But I just wanted to share with people, though, that I'm feeling a profound negativity happening throughout, and not throughout me, but throughout just the energy that's out there right now. And I can't put my finger on it. Like I said, I know it's not physical. I know it's not political. It's a spiritual energy right now that seems to have slightly turned from the positive, the warmth, the loving, moving in the right direction over the past couple of years to just recently. It seems like there's been a shift and we're going the wrong way. You're welcome, Wendy. I'm glad I helped you remember to cut the cords. It is important. Yep. And it absolutely explains. And I think this is kind of odd for me because I already don't sleep as it is. I literally don't. I sleep maybe 3-4 hours a night. But I've noticed since I've been away, since I've been TDY right now, because I am in North Carolina, I'm at Camp Lejeune. I've been very focused on making sure I do everything properly at night and everything else. And I'm sleeping even less now than I have been, and I have more energy because I'm very conscious and aware of cutting the cords and making sure that my space is clear and that my energy is clean and everything else. But I think by me focusing on me, it is opening me up to everybody else, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. I'm perfectly okay with it because it lets me focus or refocus on where I think energy, positive energy, needs to be turned to. Uh, I'm hoping something as simple as this, me jumping on a live Sunday night right now, is helping somebody. A positive push of energy, reminding you that you are not alone, reminding you you are never alone. Um, there's always something better if you let the bad go. It's sorry, I'm reading right now. So Ajang, there's a couple of them. So Ajang is asking me, what is the name of the crystal that you suggested me to avoid the negative energy, especially from spirit? So there's a lot of protection one out there. A lot of the green ones are protection. There's black tourmaline, which a lot of people like. There's hematite, which is a very good protector, but it's also a very good grounder. And it's obsidian is a fantastic one that you can use. A lot of people like obsidian. I prefer jet. I don't know why. I just prefer jet. It seems to be my go-to. Lava rock is very good. Black lava is very good. But for you, I would suggest obsidian. I would suggest black obsidian for you. Tourmaline is fantastic. That's kind of the catch-all of everything for negativity or for protection and stuff like that you need. But Ajang, I think you and I are a lot alike when it comes to this, and I think you would prefer obsidian for you. Yeah, Uilani, you're right. It's worldwide. We've been feeling so much. And it's weird because I don't know where my new shift is coming from. I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly, anytime I get a chance to grow, I'm happy about it. I will grow. And I'm more than happy to share what my growth is with others. Because I always like learning something new. I still have to tell people I'm never ever going to be an expert or good at anything. I will be good at it, but I will not be an expert or the best at anything. I will always be a practicing intuitive. I will always be learning. We should always be learning. The person I'm sitting here working with this week and coming, or last week and coming into this week, he's been telling me new things, and it's just stupid, useless pieces of information, but it's something new I learn every day. Does it have to do with my abilities? Absolutely not. But it's just very interesting to be taking on new things and having to try to figure them out. It's just something that I'm trying to see what to do with next, type of thing. Sorry, I'm reading what Uilani, she says, I noticed the more positive energy I put out or help people. There's been a couple of negative people hates me for no reason, but they will constantly attack me spiritually, so I need to be more aware and always protect myself. Absolutely. Never let anyone else feed off of your energy unless you're the one willing it. Energy vampires, anything like that, they're just out there. But again, that's kind of the shift that I'm feeling, is that I don't want to say they're out there for themselves, but they're not out there for the good of everybody. They may be out there for their group, or they may be out there for themselves, or they just may be out there to be mean. And that's kind of what I'm seeing a lot lately, and I don't like it. I don't know how me as one person can combat it, can combat against it, except for doing what I'm doing, trying to be positive in my own, to show others that this is how it is. This is how I am. This is how it is. This is how I'm going to be towards others. If they don't like it, they can leave. I really don't care. That is not what I need in my life. That is not what any of us need in our life. We do not need a constant battle with anybody at all in any way, shape, or form. That's not what we're here. That's not what we're here to do. Um, I don't know. Like I said, this has been a big shift for me to all of a sudden be picking up live people's emotions. Um, I've always been able to sense their spirit, good or bad, but I haven't been able to feel it to the specificity that I'm feeling it now, um, which is which is interesting, which has been. Um, I agree. So Ulana says it feels like they're out there to stop people like us who are trying to be positive and be uplifting for others. So that makes me think: are we? See, now my mind shifts so many different times when I do this, because now I have to think: are what we dealing with? Are they even humans? Are we just dealing with people that are being mean, or are we dealing with a form of a different starseed who knows that we are positive starseeds and they are there to help or try to block what we are putting out there to help with? We if you watch anything along the lines of William Nighthawk or Dennis Carroll or a lot of the other ones that are out there, they talk about those that are here to stop us from being our best selves, whether it be human form, starseed form, whatever we may be. Um, what are they doing? Why is it happening? And why are they trying to stop us? What is out there that wants them to stop us from making the world a better place? What is it that's out there that's stopping the world from being able to see clearly, without blinders on, without to be in total fear? What do they want us to, why do they want us to be afraid? What is it that they are so afraid of that we're going to find out if the world ends up being a positive place to be? And why do they feel the need to stop us from doing that? What are they afraid we're going to see? You know, um, I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew what was going on, why the shift I feel is happening, how to stop it. More than just one, just me at a time. Um, I really wish I don't mean this to sound selfish, because I don't mean it selfishly, but I wish I had a bigger platform so people could hear, that there's more people that want to do good for them and for ourselves than there are people who want to do bad for them and for themselves. It just seems like there's the voices that are louder right now are the negative voices. It almost seems like the positive voices, I don't want to say everybody, because obviously not everybody, but it just seems like there's a lull. It almost seems like there is which is almost seems like it's a stagnant, like we've stagnated for a second and we've given a rise. The negative people have noticed the stagnation. So they're taking it, they're running with it, while almost like we recharge or we repower or we try to find another way to get the word out to people on a positive note. They're finding our silence as weakness and they're charging through it, which is not anything at any time going to be good for us. They're parasites, they're viruses, they're just trying to break us and they can't. And I think that makes them even madder, makes them try harder, because they know they can't break us. We're only simply standing still right now. I think we're getting ready to move forward, but this wave of negativity is trying to take the reins, trying to do its own thing. But I think ultimately it's going to come around to where it's we're going to get it back. I just see that. But when I was way back when, at the beginning of this, almost, I'd say 40 minutes ago, when I was talking about going out to Broadhead Manor and going to the Paranormal Rockdown, I am a little worried because I hope the negativity isn't there. I hope it's full of love, full of positivity. It'll be the first one that Nikki and I go to on just a paranormal retreat, on just a paranormal overall convention type thing. Investigating with some very good people, meeting some very nice people I know. But I don't want it to be a negative experience for us, making us want to turn inward and just stay within my show or just our own investigations. I want this to be positive so that we will enjoy when we go out to other things with other groups and everything else. Right now, we don't do a lot of that. A lot of it was because Nikki was going through her battles, but she's on the positive side of that now, so that's why we're able to get out and go do stuff. But I don't want it to be a negative experience for us, and I will do everything I can to make sure it is not a negative experience for her. Even if I have to shield her from what's going on, I need to make sure that she enjoys what's going on, while very well paying attention to what's going on around me and letting her focus on the good stuff. Hopefully there is no bad stuff, but we'll see. That is to be determined. I cannot control that right now, except in my own little bubble when I'm there. But okay, I've been talking for about 50 minutes. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Like I said, I don't even know why I popped in. I just sat here and I was like, well, I feel like I need to turn on the site and see who pops in and who wants to talk and who wants to listen and see where to go from here. So with that said, I'm very appreciative of those who came out and said hello and talked and listened, and shared their insights as well, because I believe that by looking at the information and the messages I'm receiving, we're all kind of feeling the same thing right now. It's almost like a nervous tenseness that we're waiting to see what happens next. So with that said, I do not have a show tomorrow, but I will be back on the following Monday with Joe Frankie. If you don't know Joe Frankie, go look at him. He is a wonderful man. And I'm really appreciative that I met him and that we're basically brothers now, and that he's going to be coming on my show and you all get to meet him. So if you don't know how to spell his last name, Franke, Joe Frankie, follow, support him. He's a fantastic man. He'll be on my show in 8 days. Other than that, much love. Uilani, I appreciate you saying that your number is open for anyone who needs to reach out to you, no matter what time it is or what's going on. Absolutely. I'm the same way. People know this. They know how to contact me. Again, thank you for coming on. Much love to everybody. And I will be seeing you in about a week. So have a good weekend. Enjoy your week, and I will see you next Monday.